All right, Board, if you will come to order, we do have a quorum tonight, and it is 6 p.m. We will go to citizens' presentations. Citizens are allowed 4 minutes to address the Board regarding an item over which the Board has policy or oversight authority as provided by state law. Anyone wish to address the Board tonight? But you're on the agenda item, right? Okay. We'll let you get there. All right. All right, no one seeking to talk. We'll move to the regular session. Item number 1, tabled agenda item number case is ZBA-21-002, 113 South Green Hill Trail. Take appropriate action regarding a request for a special exception to allow a fence to encroach on the front setback of 113 South Green Hill Trail. We had tabled this item at our last meeting, and so I would entertain a motion to remove the item from the table. Do I have someone moving?
Bert Tall, I will motion to remove the item from the table.
Thank you, John. And do I get a second?
Kesterson will second.
It is seconded. All in favor, show your hands. It is unanimous. It is removed from the table. The item is properly before us. Lisa, do you want to introduce?
Yes, sir. This request for a special exception to allow a fence and driveway gate 3 feet in front of the home was tabled at the last meeting. In order to try to meet the desires of the board, the applicant has decided to replace almost all of the wrought iron with board-on-board to obstruct the views of his garage area. The only exception is that the 3-foot section that extends from the garage wall will be wrought iron, which is shown in blue on your screen. All the wood fencing will be painted to match the posts. Here's the automatic gate that the applicant plans to install. That'll block the view. Here's an example of a pre-painted board-on-board fencing and that will replace the wrought iron, and a photo of the 3-foot section that's proposed to remain wrought iron. And here are current views looking into the property that will be obstructed by a solid wood fence. Staff's available for questions, and the applicant is as well.
All right, thank you. Michael, do you want to address us tonight? Please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and you have the floor.
Michael Machado, 113 Green Hill Trail. South.
Oh,
Is that it?
That's it?
Okay.
Except whatever you want to say.
Oh, very good. So I think we have maybe some new council members. So my original design was wrought iron. It really is not the encroachment that's the issue. The issue is the activity at my house. 2 children. Hobbies, we have skateboards, we have more bicycles, scooters. I have a 61 Lincoln Continental that, I put a lot of TLC in, and that's one of the things that I work on. Gap insurance just expired, so I changed my own oil because they no longer change it for free. So the activity that we do around this area, and I probably spend 15-20% of my time in the garage area, is directly facing the neighbor's front door. So the issue is really not the fence, it's not really the design, it's not the encroachment, it's really me alleviating some of these activities away from this neighbor across the street. No other neighbors have any issues except for one neighbor. His door faces this. So over the 1.5 years that I've been here, we completely redone this house. I don't do wood stuff for a living. I'm a mortgage underwriter. Me and my wife work from home. I'm a DIY type of guy, do-it-yourself type of guy. We've completely re-gutted this house, redone this old house, updated it to my family's desires, built a pond in the front yard. This is my house, my mortgage, my family. This is what we want for our family. So with my lifestyles, with things that are going on, I think it's best to get a solid fence. I thought this design was more elegant. I'm trying to be transparent. I'm not hiding anything. I love to work on cars. Growing up as a kid, I admire guys that worked on cars. My car is super, super cool. Gets a lot of attention. I love that car. It's a 61 Lincoln, suicide doors. It's phenomenal. But it's green. So I don't know why the issue was, maybe because the person that didn't raise his hand, the council member last meeting, why I'm here again this week, is that his complaint was he drove by and he said it looked like urban Dallas. I put a lot of pride in my house. This fact that he said that wasn't a day that came by from our last meeting that I didn't think about that. My wife is black, my kids are black. Urban Dallas, because I was working on my car, is a little bit more than just that. There's more history. I think the fact that I've been building the house and working, and this is the last area that I'm finishing. So after all that construction, the neighbor across the street with a skateboard ramp that used to be there during COVID, and I can see that being why he might feel it's urban Dallas, but for one person, a council member, to drive by on that one judgment call to say I'm urban Dallas, I don't buy it. So there's a little bit more. I think people know people, neighbor knows somebody. So we're doing this for the neighbor across the street. If you don't put the fence there, then it's going to get worse. You're going to get more phone calls because I'm going to still work on my car. I'm going to still change the oil. My kids are going to still ride skateboards. But this, and there's a basketball hoop there too, so maybe that's another reason why it might be urban Dallas. So my kids are going to play basketball there. This fence, if it's solid, it's going to make a big difference. It's going to help alleviate this neighbor from seeing what I'm doing over here. And it just makes sense for my family to have this fence. I use that garage a lot. You see that view right there. So when you're driving down the street, that's the front of my view. I can't work on the car in the garage because I have a trailer. The trailer's in the garage, as you can see on this picture right here. So right now I'm changing the drum brakes to disc brakes in the Lincoln, and you can see the Lincoln tier right there. It's covered. It's in the corner, but that's where I'm working on it. It's immobile because I'm changing brakes. I'm converting drum to disc brakes. I can't go in my garage because I have a trailer, so I can't bring the trailer out. So this fence will allow me to put the trailer in the back, and I can put the Lincoln in the garage. I can work on it like I would always want to work on my cars, in the garage instead of out here in the front, where the neighbor across the street can watch me work on a car. With the solid fence, they wouldn't see that, of course, but that will allow me, to put that car in the garage, put the trailer out. And if I have a solid fence right here, when neighbors are driving by, they can't see me working in my garage, see the cars. So having a solid fence there, I'm cool with that. My wife wanted that in the first place. I thought this design was better, but it's not about design. It's about pleasing the neighbors across the street. So I can't really move it back 3 feet. I poured concrete there. There's electrical wires that come up that's going to power the electric gates in the front. And I think that was one of the rebuttals. The other rebuttal was, what happens if the neighbors, the people who buy this house, don't want it? It takes 2 hours to take that fence down. Board on board construction, just like it did with the other side of the house. Each board has 6 screws, and they're deck screws, no nails, no staples. This fence is not going anywhere. You guys will be pushing daisies before this fence falls down. So this fence isn't going anywhere, and based upon, I think, your rebuttal last time was, if you don't want it, then take it down. It's no issue. This is pleasing for me and my family, and this is pleasing for me and the neighbor across the street. And I think it'd be more beneficial so you get less complaints. And it's ironic that this neighbor is also a drummer. So it's just, it just doesn't make sense why he would be so upset. But anyway, so I think it's better to do a solid fence. This cost me $700 worth of metal that I'm willing to compromise. It's going to cost me another $500 worth of wood to finish that off. So I'm compromising. I appreciate the fact that I can have this fence so I can block off the garage, so I can have the dogs. And there's a list of a dozen things why I want this fence here. And I am willing to compromise to please the council, to please the neighbor across the street. And if you guys have any questions regarding that, just let me know.
All right, thank you very much. I have one question. Your picture there shows by the garage a door. Are you taking that door out, or is it staying there?
That's the gate.
The gate, yeah.
The walking gate. So that's
still
the
gonna be
walking gate. Right now, there's one picture, I took it off because I'm going to resand it and refinish it.
Okay.
It was just a
So you're
sort
still
of a
going to
rough.
have a
So
gate
that's,
there.
and it's locked, so it's a lockable gate. And so you press a button and it will unlock and you can open up that gate. There'll be wrought iron welded in the middle of that gate. But that will be the access gate, and only when the cars drive in is when we'll use the double gate. So that would be the access gate. And the 3-foot wrought iron that I'm keeping is just to allow us to have communication with the front of the house. Otherwise, if it was solid, you wouldn't be able to see the front of the house. Whoever comes, and also for security, when the dogs are out here, they can watch people come to the front of the house.
So I assume the gate across the driveway is going to open out?
Oh, it's not going to open in.
It's going to open in?
It's going to open in, and that's another reason why I had to extend it out 3 feet, so it'll allow me to turn into the garage. I think
Okay.
one of the rebuttals is to have it flush with the house, but then I would not be able to get into the garage without shutting that gate first. So I wanted to come in just to be less evasive, so, and also when cars drive up, they won't get hit. They'll come in instead of out.
All right, thank you. So just for the board's consideration, we're really only dealing with granting of a special exception to allow the fence to encroach upon the setback requirements.
And it's 13 feet exactly.
And we're not really ruling on solid versus wrought iron or any of those kinds of things, even though he talked about that. So we're just dealing with the issue of allowing or not. So that's the matter. Does any of the board have any other questions? If no questions,
I
would,
do.
oh, go ahead.
Murtaugh, I have a question. So is the gate going to be, is your intention to have the gate, the man gate, wood, solid wood as well?
It was originally.
Okay.
It was originally as well as the wrought iron. So now I'm just going to do completely all wood all the way across. The only wrought iron exception would be just that access view to see the front of the
corner.
house. That little corner. And it's covered by trees, so no one can really see in. But even if they could see in, there's really very limited view of what you can see inside there.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have an observation. I've driven and looked at your house extensively, and I see your lot, and I do think your lot has put you at a disadvantage
It does.
for usage of space. Actually, my thought was if that was a solid fence, that would make it a much more aesthetically pleasing
It would.
scenario for the yard. So that was just my observation. I don't know if anybody else got a chance to go look at it, but
Yeah, I did.
that's a big deal to me, and would be one of the exceptions I would add.
All right. So, board, you need to make a motion whether to approve and grant the special exception or reject. It would require a 4-0 vote to approve it, so just to let you know where you are. So does anyone wish to make a motion?
Murtaugh, I will make a motion to approve under one minor condition, that it does go in with a solid wood fence.
Kesterson will second with the same point being made.
All right. Motion is properly before us. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none. Just a point of clarification, the adding of the solid wood fence, even though it's part of our motion, is not really part of granting the special exception, right? That's just the preference is what we're after. So is that still okay, the way it's worded, to vote upon that, even though it's kind of expanded outside our scope?
I mean, really, this is about the setback, and that's it,
Okay,
regardless of what kind of fence it is.
okay. I think we'll leave it as the motion in the second, if that's okay with everybody. I just wanted to clarify it for purpose of clarification. All right? Okay. If there are no other questions, I will ask for the vote. All those in favor of the approval of the special exception as stated, please show your hands. It is unanimous, does pass. Thank you very much, Michael, for
Thank you,
working with
guys.
everybody
Appreciate it.
to do that. I drove by and I thought, like you, he has a very strange situation, not much he can do, and probably being able to screen that driveway to let you have more freedom there. I think if I would lived across the street or a neighbor, I would probably be happy with that.
I think so too.
So, you know.
I agree. And I'll definitely I'm doing a solid fence for sure.
So that, I think, works better, so. But
I just think it enhances your overall usability of the driveway and everything else, because it's really your business and
It's
not
my
anybody
hobby
else's.
and
Exactly. And so-
we have a TV in the garage and, it's where we spend a lot of time. I just built a bench that you can sit and watch basketball and sit and just hang out. And so it's one of the areas that we really commune a lot.
Just give you more freedom to use your space.
Exactly. So
I'm not
I
gonna
agree.
come play basketball with you, because if you bump me, it's all over with.
That would be the end.
I'm gone. So, but if I can
But I appreciate it, guys.
tie your feet down or something, I might go play. All right, thank you very much, sir,
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
guys.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
Thanks.
All right, we'll move on to item number 2, take appropriate action regarding the April 8th, 2021 ZBA meeting minutes. Does someone wish to move the approval of those?
Kesterson, I'll make a move to approve.
To have it a second.
Jeff Sims, second.
All right. And Jeff seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All those approving the April 8th, 2021 minutes, show your hand. It is unanimous. Now, item 3, take appropriate action regarding May 13th, 2021 Zoning Board of Adjustment meeting minutes. I would move to approve.
Murtaugh will second to approve.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. All those in favor, show your hands. It is unanimous. It is approved. Lisa, it is time for you to make a report.
All right. If y'all got an email today for no B4 cybersecurity training, you can ignore that. Want to make sure that y'all knew that. That's just for council and staff. Y'all don't have to do a thing. We will likely have an August meeting on a lot where a house burned down and the family's rebuilding. And apparently their family has grown since they bought the house, and so they want to build a bigger house. And the garage is set to face a street, the side street's on a corner lot. And the zoning says that it can't. It would have to face the other house and do a J-swing. But that requires more room, and so they're gonna come and ask that they can face the street, because it does turn out that all the houses around them also have street-facing garages.
Yes.
Because apparently that rule
They're
must have been created after all those houses were built. So assuming that they submit tomorrow, then that should be coming on in August. And then just the last thing is that the planning position's being defunded, so I will not be here. I'll be here maybe until September, till the end of the fiscal year. Depends on how quickly I get a job. So any planning work is now going to be done by Matt. He's going to be doing that, along with, of course, his building official duties and director duties. So he's a full plate. But yeah, so no more planner position.
Sorry to see you leave.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Wish you the best in
Thank you. So,
finding a new position.
thanks.
Anything else to report?
That's it.
Anybody?
Nope.
All right. It is 6:17 PM, and we will stand adjourned.